Yo, what up, my brother? It's been a minute. How's life? I see you posting a lot about ADHD, and I usually can't focus for more than 5 minutes either. Doesn't mean I have ADHD, or is ADHD even real? My physician keeps telling me I have ADHD. However, I don't really believe him because I think everyone has ADHD.
I feel you, man. But it's not just about not being able to focus. ADHD is real and it's way more complex than people think. It's literally a neurodevelopmental condition that affects the way your brain processes attention, impulses, and activity.
Wait, hold up. So it's like my brain is wired differently?
Exactly. So there's a gene called the DRD47 gene, and if you have a variation of this leads to fewer dopamine receptors in your brain, especially in your frontal lobes. So think of it this way. So dopamine, your feel-good chemical for the brain, right? So because you have fewer stimulation of the receptors with dopamine, what it leads to is you seeking more stimulation behavior. Hence, the impulsivity and the difficulty focusing. It's literally like a dopamine drought in certain areas of your brain, especially the frontal lobes. So basically in your frontal lobes, which is the executive center of your brain, this is where all the decision making happens, impulse control happens, and also where you can play around with information, so such as your working memory. So this is all impaired because of it.
Wait, that's a lot to process right now. So you're saying there's literally deficits in my brain as of now. So kind of like my brain's kind of thirsty and dry.
I feel you, but not exactly. You're not specifically thirsty all the time. You can still hyper focus on things that are truly passionate about. The only thing is, things that are mundane are harder for you to focus on than a neurotypical. But it is true that your brain's like, yo, I need more dopamine, and it's constantly looking for that dopamine spike all the time. That's why individuals with ADHD like myself constantly feel like we have to keep doing something. Scrolling on your phone, watching that new movie, walking downstairs, going for a run, whatever it is, always constantly doing something.
Okay, fine, I agree with you. That makes sense. But isn't everyone distracted these days anyways?
That's the thing, you are correct in that aspect. In today's world, we are constantly getting distracted by multiple things. Through societal development, our brains look for that constant hit of dopamine. Social media, endless options for entertainment, everything's instant gratification these days. But for people with ADHD, this is even worse and even more extreme. Their brains are even less equipped to handle that constant stimulation, as they can get really easily addicted to it. On top of that, it's harder for them to stay focused for long periods of time because of that low dopamine baseline. So it's not an environmental issue. This is actually a neurodevelopmental, a genetic issue.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. So doesn't that mean everyone has a little bit of ADHD anyways?
ADHD isn't about just being distracted or lazy. It's literally how your brain works. And you have to understand, it's on a spectrum as well. Some people might have milder symptoms, others might have even more severe symptoms. Some people may not even have the hyperactivity part, where they just have attention deficit disorder instead of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And unfortunately, in today's society, it's very much missed and it's very underdiagnosed in a lot of the population, especially in women. Society tends to overlook it when it doesn't fit the hyperactivity stereotype. And unfortunately, individuals with ADD that don't have the hyperactivity part of this condition and women usually get missed and don't get diagnosed with this condition.
Wait, hold up. So you're saying that ADHD doesn't have to be hyperactive? I thought it was always like people just running around, jumping off walls, always jittery. That's not it?
No, man. Hyperactivity is only one part of it. You are literally perpetuating the stereotype right now. There's also the inattention side, forgetting things, losing focus, being disorganized. Some people might be introverts and be super quiet, but they still struggle with focus. It's not just about bouncing around all the time.
Okay, that actually makes sense. So now that I've been diagnosed with ADHD, how do I deal with this? Do I take meds or do I do something else?
That's actually a very good question. I like to think of it in a balanced manner, where you do some lifestyle modifications and also you take the medication. For me, what really worked is taking the medication first and then using it as a tool. So I took Adderall, you can take Ritalin, you can take Concerta, Vyvanse, any of these. and using it as a tool to succeed in the future. So, although medications actually solve the issue of dopamine drought in your brain, they bring it back, that doesn't mean the condition is automatically cured. The condition still exists. You still have fewer dopamine receptors. However, as an individual with ADHD, if you are taking the medication constantly for a long period of time, these pathways can actually be wired and formed in the future. It's called neuroprotective nature of ADHD medications for ADHD individuals. However, here's the very important thing. Medication is actually good for individuals with ADHD, and if you don't stop it later on, that's fine too. Because whatever works for you, that's what you should continue with, because at the end of the day, it's unique to you, so tailor it to you.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but aren't the meds actually addictive? Won't I get addicted to them? Because they're stimulants, right?
So yeah, that's where the myth is a little bit. So individuals without ADHD, and if they take medications, this can lead to a euphoria feeling, and it's actually detrimental to your brain health as well. However, with individuals that have the deficit already in their brain because of the low dopaminergic receptors, for them taking medications just balances things out. So it's nothing that's to the extreme anyways. So it doesn't cause that euphoria feeling anyways. It's just getting your brain to work more normally per se. And like I said earlier, it's actually neuroprotective in nature as well. So it can lead to neurogenesis at those deficit places.
All right, so let me get this straight. ADHD isn't just about being distracted. So it's like my brain's on a shortage of dopamine, and usually meds help with that, but I still have to put in the actual work to be able to focus?
Exactly, you've got it. And don't let the stigma fool you either. ADHD doesn't mean you're less smart or less focused. Think about it. There's a lot of doctors, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of CEOs that do actually have ADHD, and they're categorized as high functioning individuals, so high functioning ADHD. And I believe I have that too. It's like you have a brain that's naturally designed to look for rewards, think outside the box, and actually be creative.
Okay, I see what you mean. So you can use the medication as a tool to focus better, but you still have to focus, is what you're saying.
Exactly. You're not broken. Your brain's just wired differently. And with the right support and strategies, you can live a fulfilling life.
All right. So you're telling me I can still be the CEO of a big company if I just start putting in the work now with the medication?
Yeah, you're right. So with the right mindset and some hard work, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to.
All right, my man, I completely trust you. However, I'm still gonna do my own research on ADHD and ADHD medications. And I just wanna say thank you. I can finally start my plans of becoming a CEO of a big company. However, I still have issues with time management. Do you have any tips?
For sure, my man, I got you. I'll hook you up with some resources. Nice talking with you.
Appreciate you.